All right, so I have a link of everything that I'm going to be using in a cart. Obviously, there is a whole bunch of other brands, but this is what I have and what I own personally and what I like to use. Of course, if I had a little bit more budget, of course, I'll go for a little bit more expensive, but low budget film. So anyways, it still works and still creates, awesome looks. Anyway, so we're going to start with liquid latex just because it does take a little bit longer to dry. So as far as what we're going to do with her, we're going to do like the basic, like maybe got into a car accident scene, jinx, don't, anyways, I have a story with that one. But anyways, so we're going to use like this liquid latex. It is in that cart and I'm going to pour it into a little container like so. And it's going to look like that. And then you want to grab a brush. It does have a little stench to it, but anyways, you want to have it dry up as quickly as possible. Anyways, you want to put primer on your model and of course spirit gum just in case you are covering it over hair. As far as here, we're not going to cover the hair yet, but I'm going to bring this a little bit closer so you guys can see on her face. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make like a little patch right here of the latex. And this is where we're going to put the toilet paper. Yes, I like to use toilet paper. And what that does, it creates a small film to layer it and make that skin look, which you will see to come. So what I like to do is I like to make enough layer of this latex onto her skin. And you always want to make sure the person you're putting this latex on is not allergic to the latex. Also, when it comes to the latex, how it works is it's kind of like like the glue that you put on a globe and you put newspaper on it and you layer it and you layer it. Well, you're going to do the same thing with latex with the toilet paper. So it's going to be similar to that. So you want to let that dry. The reason why I'm doing this first is because it does take the longest, but it comes out a lot more detailed, which I will show you to come. Let's see. Here we go. How's it smell? I have it like right under her nose. Here we go. All right. Let that dry for a second. I'm going to come in with the first layer. I don't have 3-ply, toilet paper, so this is a napkin. This will do. So you're going to put that right on top like that. There you go. And then I'm going to put more latex right here. Just be aware the brush that you use with the latex, you'll probably end up throwing away at the end. So always use a cheap brush, I guess, or a disposable brush. You can use like a paintbrush that's like $1 or something like that. But I tend to clean it, but sometimes it doesn't really get it out. So you can't use it for anything else but latex. So I keep it, I guess, just strictly for latex. And you see how I'm like kind of folding the napkin or toilet paper and layering it right there. Here you go. It does take a bit of a process. So if you have any questions while I'm applying this, now would be a great time to ask it. Let me fold this a little bit. Make sure we have a good visual. You want to get it on the outside part too, so it sticks on the outside, as so. There we go. Still a little wet there, so I'm gonna let it dry a bit. Okay. All right. And we're gonna do another layer, small layer, actually. Here we go. Looks good. How you feeling?
Good.
Good. Okay. Here we go. I always want to make sure that they're comfortable. And a lot of times on film set, it's going to get hot. So you always want to make sure that there's a fan on them because they're going to end up sweating it off, and you don't want it to be sweating or wet while it's trying to dry because it's just going to peel right off. I mean, it'll be easy for them to take it off if they're sweating. So make sure you sweat on set. So by the time you're done with your scene, you can just peel it right off. As such, we're going to do one more layer. One more layer. Okay, here we go. So it's like newspaper on a balloon. Have you guys ever done that before?
Yeah.
Remember those kindergarten projects? Yeah, there's a reason for them. Life skills you never thought would actually come to play. So the reason how I learned how to do this was actually from my art class in high school. I had a friend named Mario. He taught me how to do bruising and colorations for it, and basically shading and minor cuts like so. And I decided to, experiment and go a little bit more detailed every single Halloween, because my goal on Halloween was to scare every Uber driver I could. So that was my goal. And of course, I reach my goal every year. So I'll go all out every Halloween. It's my favorite time. Just get people's reactions. It's funny. Especially those cops. Yeah. So anyways, we got that going. While that is drying, I'm going to move on to the bruising part while that dries. So what I like to use, we're gonna go over here a little bit. What I like to use is kind of like a paint, which is all paint palette, which is also in the cart. It is water activated, so you're gonna have to wet your brush or wet inside of this just to get the colors that you want. Normally I use a sponge, but I don't have a sponge to rip and shred. But normally you want to cut the sponge and kind of use tweezers to pluck at it and then use it as the edge of this. But anyways, for now, we're just going to use the brush. I'm going to wet it a little bit. That's more than enough. All right. And then you can also use this Ben Nye bruising palette, which also looks like this, like that. It's awesome. Everyone that's used it loves it. So we're going to start with a brownish reddish color. So we're going to start with the brown, and the brown goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in a circle, like so. You can use let me bring it a little bit closer. And I'm going to have you turn your head here, you guys can see. So I'm going to do a circle like so. And you want to kind of go bring it in a circle where this part in the middle makes it look like it's swollen. As such. You want kind of a wide brush so it can give you that nice blotchy vibe, I guess, right here. And then you want to go with the red, just to kind of give it that nice blood coming through this, trying to go through the skin, as such. Like that. And then you're going to go to the yellows. And with the yellow, you're going to want to go on the edges of the bruised area.
Brush.
You're going to use yellow to go on the edging right here, like that. And then use your finger to kind of blend it. Like so. And then you can use the blue and green. You want to mix that too. That's a little dark. I need to get some more water in this. So what I like to do is use my finger to blend a lot, mainly. Let me get some more water. So now you have like kind of like that swollen area, which I'll here just to massage.
Wow, Amanda, that is really already starting to look like she's been beaten up a little.
Alrighty. Then you can use more water or makeup remover to kind of like blend it out a little bit, just so it's not as big. But I like to smear it around the face so it blends with her actual skin tone as such. But I like to use the yellow a little bit just to kind of give it that nice swollen pussy look. And then we're gonna go back with the brown just to darken it up a little bit here. Give it that depth. And go back with this. Now I want you to look at the camera. There we go. And of course, with the like right lighting and everything, you'll definitely get that car accident vibe. See, as it's going away, blending it out with my finger. A lot of it has to do with shading, especially. You want to get like the right shading. All right. Then what I like to use is a makeup palette, eyeshadow palette, which I will show you. Looks like this. And what this does is it kind of gives you like that powdery look to kind of like dirt in a way. You want to get that powdery look. And then I'm going to put a little bit of like kind of like a tiny bit of blood. Let me see.
So Amanda, I have a quick question.
Yes.
I'm just, I wouldn't know what I was doing at all with special effects, so I'm really interested in this. But would it be like, I know you're starting with kind of, a clean face. Normally with makeup artists, they always want to make sure you have like a good layer of primer on.
Yes.
Is something like that still advisable with this process?
Yes. Yes. You want to put primer on your face for everything. Even your eyelids, even your lips, like they have primer for everything. Your like they have eye primer, they have face primer, and then they have lip primer.
Now, is that more just for the bruise or even for the latex, like having something on your face
It's
like that?
mainly for everything. Primer is good for everything, and it's still a little wet, so.
Okay, so it won't affect like the latex sticking.
No,
Okay.
it's good to have the the primer on. So I'm going to, oh, this is red. Okay. All right. I'm going to do a little bit of red with my finger just to kind of waiting for that to dry. And if you want to turn it into a black eye, I highly recommend doing red and yellow tones for the eye part, for the black eye. And then you want to put like hot pink on the side, which I will show you in a second. And the reason why I say hot pink is to make it like look extra fresh, which I will show.
So Erin today is our model. Erin, do you have any errands to run after this?
No.
You'd get some interesting looks in the grocery store.
Then we'll put in some blue tones up in here. Open your eye. Look up. Now what I'm using is the eyeshadow palette. Close your eye. You want it to look extra fresh. Put some yellow on top. And open your eye.
Can you bring the camera closer so we can kind of see how that's looking close up?
Turn your head more towards the light.
Towards the light.
Cool.
Close your eye. All right. Now we're gonna go back to the latex and see if it is dry yet. All right. Let me see. On this side. And it's still a little wet. All right. Now we're gonna go to the cut on the nose. So I have this product, which is like a putty. I put it on the link, and what I normally use is this little palette, which I took a piece of the putty. And you use like this little spatula. It has two edges. What it does is it helps peel it out of the tub, and you get enough to kind of like make it like the skin part. But because we're gonna make a little cut on her nose, I'm only gonna need like about this much. I'll show you how to apply it. So let me get close up to your nose. Okay, very close up. So everyone could see the nose part. I'm gonna have you look here, just so there's no glare. Perfect. So what I normally do is I take like this putty right here, and because a lot of times the nose breaks right here, I'm gonna end up, you know, breaking your nose. How you feel about that? Have you ever had a broken nose?
No.
Good. Let's make this the only broken nose you'll ever have in your life.
Yes, hopefully.
All right, so we're gonna go right here. You're just gonna put it right on here. And what this spatula is good for is you're gonna kind of like blend it down like that, kind of flatten it out as such onto her skin. And then it's gonna blend. You're gonna do it both sides. take this piece off because I don't need that much. Just enough to get that in. You want to kind of like spread it down, almost like dough. Everyone can see how that like went right on that. You get like little pieces like that. This is a good molding tool as well. So squeeze that on.
So is this gonna make it look like she's got like a cut nose?
Yes.
Okay.
So I added the extra skin and layer to it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this pointy one and I'm gonna kind of like make like a nice line in there. Like such. Because that's where the room for the blood is gonna go. You just wanna kind of blend it down like that. Not want to stay. Hold on. It's like you put in like a roll it. My hands are sticky, that's why. This makes your hands very sticky, by the way. So be prepared. You want to lay flat as such. This also is a little bit less time consuming for cuts and stuff as much as the latex here, because you can easily just put it on wherever you want that cut and then add the blood like that. And then there is your nice cut.
So if someone is working on set and they have, you're working on someone and they are allergic to latex, are there just...
You would use this.
Okay, so that's just like clay.
Yes, it's
Okay.
a putty.
Okay.
They have multiple kinds, hyperallergenic kinds, of course. It's just a matter of which one you use. That's good for, whoever you're working on. But the thing is, as far as like detail goes, latex is always mainly used and recommended. But this is also an alternative. You can also use latex to have this stay on as well. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to take my makeup paint. I'm going to kind of put like a little bit of black line right in here just to give that definition underneath. As such, make sure I can see it underneath. All right, turn this way. As you can see. So there's that cut. That's the breakup. But if you look in the definition, you can see the actual skin. Because it blends so perfectly with her skin, that's also helpful. But I did add in the link, there's flesh, there's dark flesh, and there's clear flesh in there. And also you could put foundation over the skin too. That matches the skin color and skin tone of your person that you're doing makeup on. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of blood. This is a fun part. My favorite part, actually. So I like to use this, it's like a gel, a blood gel. It's on the market too. So I take a brush and I add the gel inside of it. And this is gonna be a little, this is gonna try me. It's not wanting to work with me.
really starting to look really gross, Amanda, which is awesome.
That's the point, the beauty of the special effects. So then you add that blood, gives you that nice gooiness. I need to get more because I'm running low on it. And I literally worked on a whole bunch of horror films set and episodes, but there you go. Just a little bit right there. So now her nose is broken officially. That's just to kind of get it intact as far as, you know, you have the placement in the film and they're about to, you know, go on like set ready. They're about to act. And then I normally like to add a more liquidy type blood right before the camera, they're on camera. So this is just to kind of like give them that bloodiness, but then let me add the actual blood. Careful, it's gonna get all over. Is that okay?
Mhm.
This
Yeah.
washes off, just
Okay.
saying. I love this stuff. Oh, this is also on the, let me tilt your head this way and kind of guide it like such. There you go. Aha. And that's your nose cut. And I also like to add a little bit more. I'm gonna have you tilt your head again, just so it can drip the right way that I want it to, as such. Haha.
Looks great.
You can eat it if you want to. Just kidding, don't do that. It tastes bad. But I mean, you can, it's not gonna kill you. So, just so it doesn't get in her mouth. That's the effect that normally right before action, I like to get. I'm a little bit dramatic, but it's okay. I'm allowed to be dramatic. All righty, now the fun part. Can you touch the latex to make sure it's not wet still?
Feels pretty dry.
Yay. And anyone that's ever worked with me with latex, they all know, oh, I got blood on my little thing. They all know that I took scissors to their face, but obviously I told them I'm not gonna cut them. So, full warning. I'm gonna try and use these little scissors, but I don't think I'm gonna get it. So I normally use bigger scissors. Okay, so I normally take some scissors and I kind of cut right in the middle. And peel this up. There you go. As you can see, I'm cutting all the way up from one end to another. It's not even touching her face, I promise you. Don't do this at home unless you're 100% confident. But what this does, it gives the illusion of a nice gash in her face, which I just love doing this look specifically. And then if you look at the outer sides, if you don't necessarily use the latex for that and use toilet paper, you can always go to the edge right here. I'm gonna actually have you hold the camera right there. Okay, so right out here you can kind of see like there's like a clear layer right here. It's gonna be a little pinch, but you see that right there? And now I have like a nice hole right here, and that's her skin. So you can do that as well. And then right here as well, do another hole, a nice rug, like road rash right here. Here's another one like that. And these are like nice pockets to put blood in, which I will show in a second.
So it looks like that'll end up making it kind of look like skin
Yes.
torn and kind of meat hanging off the bones.
Yep.
That's great.
So And like I said, it's all about shading and everything as well. So if you kind of like let it hang a bit, you want to use a nice foundation to cover this toilet paper, which I will show what I have on the what is it called? The Market. Looks like this, but I'm gonna use her skin tone just because she's a little bit lighter than we use. So I'm just gonna kind of use like this concealer. Just a little bit, just enough to, because you're gonna be covering it with like the bruising that I just showed you. You kind of want to blend it a little bit. A foundation brush. Sorry. Like such. All right, now we're gonna take that same brush with that palette, or a different brush with a palette, the paint palette. I'm gonna use the black to go on the inside, as I showed with the nose, like that. Let me get a smaller brush actually. Use that little one that I used. Do that. There we go. You want to get it all on the inside, even the inner part of the skin, like that. You want to put it in the holes just a little bit. You don't want it too dark just because the depth isn't as big as the middle part right here. Like that. And then we're gonna go back to the basic bruising, how we showed earlier. I'm gonna use some red. Open it up a little bit. Remember to use the outside part with the yellow. What I like to use is like a kind of like a toilet paper or a paper towel with water to kind of blotch it a little bit more. But you don't want to over wet it just because it'll loosen up the latex. So sponge would always be sufficed. Highly recommend a sponge. And now for the fun part, the blood. I always love using the blood. So here's the gel. This doesn't want to stick. You know what? This is not wanting to stick because it's been sitting in my car way too long. And let it catch it inside of there. There we go. You can use the brush to kind of like blotch it a little bit. Put your head down. Sorry. I promise you it comes out of
That's fine.
clothes. There you go. The gel normally comes out like this on her nose, I promise. It's just, it's been sitting in my car for a long time and it kind of dried up. and it doesn't want to stick. And normally it'd be darker on the edge here. So there you have it. A nice cut.
Nice.
A nice gash. There you go. I don't know why it's not wanting to. Let me see if I can place it in there.
Well, that's looking really gross. Oh, there you go.
It's not wanting to stay. There you go. It'll stay for now. Normally you want to apply this before the wet blood, but that's the depthness that you want. Let me get close up.
So you'd like fill that whole area with that.
Yes, you would fill in all the circles. It's just I need to get another one of these. I ran out, but there you go. It's in there. Note to self: do not leave makeup in hot car in Florida. But that's basically the look of what it would look like. There you go. There's your bruise. How much? What are we on time? Oh, we're still good on time. Cool. Let me try and get this full look in there. Oh, and don't you just love spray? I love my spray. And I don't have any blood in there. This is what happens when you work on set for films and you just run out of everything. All right. Can get a little bit darker in there too. Yeah, my hands are covered in blood. That's not normal. Does anyone have any questions? I can answer them. Okay, I have to use my finger to put it in there.
You guys are welcome to, unmute yourself or use the chat feature or raise your hand if you have any questions about the products or her technique or any other questions. It's very cool. And honestly, like you just did 3 different special effects with the makeup and that really didn't take all that long.
No, especially when it comes to filming, time is an essence. Like,
Absolutely.
you need to make sure you're on time, and the minute that the director says on set, you can't do anything about it.
Sure.
Like, the thing is, as much as the makeup artist wants to perfect their work, and I know I've came across that spectrum, and I want my work to be its full authentic self, it's also a time restraint that you have to worry about, especially. Yeah, this
Definitely. I was on a production a few years ago, and the director just wanted talent on set like way sooner than everyone anticipated. And the lead, he had just gotten into a fight, and he was supposed to have really just be beat to hell, beaten up in the face. And so he needed some cuts and bruises and, swollen. And the director gave him 5 minutes in makeup. So the most they were able to do is like a split lip.
You can use some of that gel around here to kind of improvise. My hands are always gross after makeup. Always. That's why I can't really get my nails done, because they end up getting ruined. So, but there you go. How do you feel?
Good.
Okay, well, you look terrible. Can you fake cry or something? I'm just kidding.
Here, let's make you cry even more.
There
you go. And this is what I would normally do right before they say action, just because you want to have it like fresh.
Yeah.
So normally I do it like the way I had it before this blood part started, mainly to know where the blood needs to go. And right before the director says action, I do this, and then I move away, and then action.
Nice.
I'm telling you, it's gonna come out.
It's
I promise.
fine.
I promise it's gonna
Don't
come out.
worry.
I promise you, it's gonna come out. Where did I drop? Okay. Any comments, questions, remarks?
I think it came out fantastic. We got 3 really cool, different looks. And so everything that you used today is basically in that link that we put in the chat for the products that you're using.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Oh, so all the products that you used today, like everything you used, it's all kind of in that
It's
link.
all in
Okay.
there. It is all in there. Amazon is very awesome for that. But
Nice.
I love it, girl.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank-
Karen, for your comment. I think it looks great
Karen.
too.
There you go. And then for this one, what I used is actually like this gel that melts. So what you do is you heat up a cup of water and you put this little tube. They have it in flesh color and they have it in clear color. So it allows you to put foundation over it if you need to, but this one technically matches my skin tone. So there's a clear version, there's a skin tone version, and you just drip it in there and it makes it like that skin that looks like it's gonna come on like that. There's my skin
Ah,
gone.
well, it looks awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, big thank you to you, Amanda, and Erin, our model, taking the time
Yeah,
to
thank
go
you.
through and
You
show us all of this. That's very cool.
want to
Everyone
go to a
on-
Wawa looking like this?
I know, right?
will.
You guys should run an errand right now.
He's like, hey, what's that? It's a little bit early for Halloween. It's never too early for Halloween.
So everyone on the call, if you are, I'm not sure what everyone's level is. Some people might be like just trying to get into the, doing special effects makeup. Some people may have some experience. But thank you for posting the link of products that you're using. I'm sure there's like tons of different brands out there, but that at least lets them know what you put on her face today. Looks awesome.
Normally this would take me about 2 hours if I wanted it detailed, but this only took me roughly, after messing up, roughly 45 minutes. So normally when it comes on set, I'm like super rush. Like the minute she got here, she was like seeing me like literally pinballing around and trying to multitask and do my makeup, but that's all part of the filming industry, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much, Amanda. It's been awesome to see your work. Thanks everybody for joining. Again, we're recording this session, so if anybody wants to watch it again, for some of the strategies that Amanda showed us, we'll have it posted on the Organization of Independent Filmmakers Facebook page, on YouTube, and on our website within the next day or two. So hope everybody enjoyed. I know, right? Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Everyone have a wonderful night.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Bye.